Hi girls! Today we're going to talk about Activity 1.5 for Week 1 of English 1 Semester 1. So we're going to be moving on to the second part, Language and Writer's Craft Verb Mood. So, writers use Verb Mood to express an attitude. Verbs may be in one of three moods: indicative, imperative, or conditional. So almost all verbs we use are indicative, which is used to state a fact or describe something. So I'm going to just write that little note on the side so that it is really clear for us. Typewriter. Whoops. Indicative means to state a fact or describe something. Then we have imperative, which is used to give a command or make a request. Time to spell it. Makes a demand or request. And then finally we have conditional. Conditional verbs express something that has not happened or something that could happen hypothetically. So we have those three things. I'm going to also highlight those things. I'm going to highlight the each of the main words so that you remember them. Indicative. I'm also going to highlight imperative and condition. So those are the three verb moods that it wants you to learn. Verb moods. So in the below example, the author shares an image with us that should have evoked humor, but did not. It should have been a comical sight, the old woman with the man's hat on her cropped white head, leaning over the bright mounds, her big backside in the air. But it wasn't comical. It was something we could not name. So the subjunctive form of the verb is used to express doubt or describe a wish, a doubt, or situation contrary to fact. So I'm going to add that to my notes. Subjunctive expresses a wish, doubt, or something contrary to fact. So when using the verb to be in the subjunctive, use were rather than was. The subjunctive form is often used in a clause beginning with if. So for our practice, it wants us to describe which mood is used in the examples below, and how does the verb mood help her create her voice in the story. So for the first example, it says, perhaps we waited for a miracle, amorphous in concept but necessary if we were to have the grit to rise before dawn each day and labor in the white man's vineyard until after dark, or to wander about in the September dust offering some meager share of bread. So you have to look at where they say perhaps we waited for a miracle. So it's something that maybe happened. And use that to decide which of those moods you think it is. Example 2 says, y'all get some stones, commanded Joey now, and was met with instant giggling obedience as everyone except me began to gather pebbles from the dusty ground. Come on, Lisbeth. So in this case, we have the boy making a command, and we also have a description of things that actually did happen. So you have to look and figure out which one goes with command and which one goes with describing events. Number 3 says, we had crouched down out of sight in the bushes, where we stifled the giggles that insisted on coming. This one focuses strictly on things that happened. So once again, you have to find the verb mood that describes things that actually happen. So here it goes over diction and imagery a little bit more. It says writers choose words both for their literal meanings, their dictionary definitions or denotations, and for their implied meanings, their emotional associations or connotations. So those are two words that are very important to remember. Writers create their intended effects through particular connotations, the associations or images readers connect with certain words. So some words provoke strong positive or negative associations. These reactions are central to how we as readers draw inferences about the tone, the characters, and the meaning of the text. So consider the following sentence from the chapter of Speak that you read in Activity 1.3 Spotlight. I dive into the stream of 4th period lunch students and swim down the hall to the cafeteria. So what connotation do the images of diving into and swimming through other students have here? So you're looking for what kind of feelings are associated with those words. It doesn't have to be only positive or negative. It could be a connotation of urgency. It could be a connotation of excitement, nervousness, whatever it is. Describe what connotations you think those images have. And then rewrite the sentence trying to keep the same denotative meaning, meaning the same definition, but changing the connotations to make them neutral, meaning change it to where it doesn't have any feeling in the sentence. So for instance, you might change dive to I moved into the stream of 4th period lunch students, because moved doesn't really have a particular connotative meaning. And then here it says, consider what's conveyed by Anderson's diction, particularly the verbs in this sentence. I ditch my tray and bolt for the door. So based on the verbs, what inferences might you draw about the speaker's feelings in this moment? So you're looking at those verbs, which are ditch and bolt, and you're describing what you can infer about that speaker's feelings based on the fact that they chose to use those words. So now you'll revise once again that sentence in order to make it more neutral. Once again, make it to where it doesn't have any feelings. Then the last activity for that part are to find examples of diction and imagery that convey Lisbeth's distinctive voice and marigolds. And then use the graphic organizer that follows to record your examples. So you're finding examples of word choice, which is diction, and images, which is imagery, and you're filling this chart in with it. So here, they already started you off by giving a certain example, okay? So in the opening, you can add to this part about dry September of dirt roads, arid sterile dust. These are diction and imagery that convey voice. Here in the first encounter with Miss Lottie, same thing. You're looking for things that convey diction and voice. Same thing, overheard conversation between her 2 parents. And then final act of destruction, the incident with the marigolds, and then the closing, which is the part where she talks about what she learned from all of that. So then you have a check your understanding. So read the sentence from Marigolds. Each morning, our mother and father trudged wearily down the dirt road and around the bend. She to her domestic job, he to his daily unsuccessful quest for work. Circle words that you think have negative connotations. Replace them with words that have positive connotations. Ignore the part that says with the partner. But we are going to write a sentence or two about how the sentence changed once we changed it from negative to positive. Finally, for this section, we're going to explain how the author uses diction, imagery, and other literary devices such as juxtaposition and flashback to create the narrator's voice and present a particular point of view. In your writing, be sure to begin with a clear thesis that states your position. Include multiple direct quotations from the text to support your claims, introduce and punctuate all quotations correctly, and include transitions between points in a statement that provides a conclusion. So just to give you guys a little bit of insight, when you're creating a thesis statement, you want to be looking for, you want to be writing specifically for your thesis statement the topic, which means like what you're going to be discussing, the points, which are the things you're going to be, the certain points you're going to address, and then also your reasons, which are like when you divide it further, and then you also want to include the tag, the title, author, and genre. So for example, in Eugenia Collier's short story Marigolds, the author creates a vivid voice using, so that's like a sentence that you can use to get started with your thesis statement, but you have to add in what the author uses to create that vivid voice, and then you have to give examples and finish off with a conclusion. Now this only has to be a paragraph, but it should be a very detailed paragraph, okay? And that's it for this activity. I'll see you in the next video where we go over LC 1.5, Language Checkpoint, Understanding Verb, Voice, and Mood, which will close out this week's activities. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.